Morning. TomBrooksArtist.com. I'll be doing a workshop, acrylic, how to work from a photo, kind of a realist beginning, at least for the first sessions. This is a pencil workup, working with basic shapes, triangles, straight lines, rectangles, composing the piece. This is the resource. So again, about 8 sketches to figure out what I was going to end up with. This is just a line drawing, and I've dropped the trees out, and the major area is the sky. This one, I started with the basic sketch and then a tonality underneath that was a very light yellow. In fact, we can hardly see it for some reason on this particular recording. Second lay-in. So acrylics dry fast, so you can layer things and you get that nice vibration. This one I use I use this color light with white as a base, and then there's my sketch, changing the shapes a little, and then I've got a kind of a turquoise. This one is pretty well finished. This was just on white, and I'm thinking of using this to teach with, so I may do something different through this plane to show a different interpretation. So the final accents are what you see throughout there. I adjusted the planes for space, a little bit of drama, and I may change this, but again, this is an instructional piece. Palette is kept wet, and I use the same thing as I do with my oils. I use a grounding, whatever I create there, a little different in technique because it's water. I'm using these large, it's not a bristle brush, but it's a soft-haired brush. Use the biggest brushes you can. Liquitex, you don't have to use this quality, but if you can afford it, buy the best materials you can. So I'm going to keep going. So this is the second lay-in. I'm in different stages here. Sky is pretty well done. We've got some nice layering going on and vibration in here. Acrylic, its strength is it dries. So use that in your technique. Don't fiddle with it. Probably leave this tone and have it come through. And this is very different than this. Some sort of a more advanced approach. I haven't talked much about color in terms of how to work with it. Okay. Okay. I go expressionistic with this one. Certainly upbeat. And of course, these will be, I'm going to rework these so that color will come through. I still have to do something with this in here. When it dries, I'm going to lay in some gray greens in here. This one, a little farther along. So the base tone is in there. I already have something underneath that's coming through. I've got this, and then I'm going to have more. There are a lot of options for this. I like the color interaction. In terms of making it a, quote, realistic scene, that isn't going to work. So I have to overpaint, and it has to be thicker. Now, acrylic doesn't cover up as well with the brush. It's not as opaque as oil. You have to think in terms of the medium you're working with. And I like the vibration down in here. So I'm thinking with this one, I'm going to be creative with it. Let it tell me what to do more. I had to let it sit for a while. Very interesting. It's warm and cool in here. Maybe a few little touch-ups still. Maybe a transition from here to here. This needs a little tick right there. This one is pretty far out there. It's going to be a plane of warm in here and cool, and then I'm not sure what else. Very upbeat. Okay, I did a wash. Again, that's something it does. It's more translucent than oils. Use the medium strength when you're painting. So I did a glaze or a wash over this area. So it's not finished, but I'm liking the dynamic. I'm going to let everything set up before I do the finishing touches. I'm going to clean up. Again, these are the sketches. Resource and Memories, West Seattle. It's the first one, probably finished. Got to look at it another day. This one, I have to do a little more on this one. That's what the sketch would look like. You use any color really to do your sketching, but that will show through. This one is very wet, so it's got to set up and thoroughly dry. Going way out there. All right, TomBrooksArtist.com.